honestly, in our very big time of need, this community definitely has wrapped their arms around us for the last 8 years and just supported us and Max and everything that we've done to try to change a hazing culture that's out there that I don't think many parents really know is there. We sure didn't.
Well, I think, being a fraternity boy, I understand exactly where that came from, right? And not that it's right, because it is so wrong. But if my parents knew what we went through to join a fraternity, my father would roll over in his grave, right? Sure. Mm-hmm. And I think so much of it is it's not transparent, right?
No.
And it's not what we think as parents we want for our kids. And a lot of parents have just I would say it this way, have encouraged their children to become a part of that process. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to step back and say, is that really what I want for my kids? Welcome back to Brew Talks. I'm Steve Stroud. I'm president and CEO of Roswell Inc. We're your economic development organization here in the city of Roswell.
And I'm Ashley Allen, VP of Operations. I want to welcome our guests on today, Rayanne and Steve Gruver with the Gruver Foundation. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Talk to us about the foundation. Why was the foundation started?
So we started the Max Gruver Foundation in honor of our son, Max.
Yes.
Who unfortunately passed away. Actually, September 14th, this Sunday, will be the 8-year mark since Max died, which is really very hard to believe. It's been 8 years. Max just went away to college. He went to LSU, and he had decided to join a fraternity. And the young men of the fraternity landed up hazing Max, and they literally hazed him to death. And Max died that night in the fraternity house.
And Max went to BT, right?
Max went to Blessed Trinity.
Yep.
He did. He loved it. He loved Roswell. The kids, we're from here. The kids have grown up here. Literally, we've been here 29 years, like 29 years of our marriage. And so all 3 kids were born and raised here. We've been in the public schools. We've been in the private schools. The great thing is we have great schools here. So whatever kid wanted to do what or how they wanted to go, we had great options. So we love the Blessed Trinity and Queen of Angels community. We love the Sweet Apple community and the Roswell High School community. Yes. So it's been a great place to be and to have our kids grow up here. And honestly, in our very big time of need, this community definitely has wrapped their arms around us for the last 8 years and just supported us and Max and everything that we've done to try to change a hazing culture that's out there that I don't think many parents really know is there. We sure didn't.
Well, I think, being a fraternity boy, I understand exactly where that came from, right? And not that it's right, because it is so wrong. But if my parents knew what we went through to join a fraternity, my father would roll over in his grave, right? Sure. Mm-hmm. And I think so much of it is it's not transparent, right?
No.
And it's not what we think as parents we want for our kids. And a lot of parents have just I would say it this way, have encouraged their children to become a part of that process. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to step back and say, is that really what I want for my kids? And you guys, it was a very unfortunate thing, but you all have taken some major action in Max's memory, right?
Yes.
And to change that so parents do have an option to say, hey, wait a minute, what's my kid getting involved in? Because I look back, and I know you and I have talked before, Steve, I look back and my dad had no idea what I was doing. Right. He was like, that's really what you want to do? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. He and again, that was 1981. That was a whole nother world, but he had no idea. He wasn't a fraternity guy.
And I think parents don't, we definitely didn't. I mean, you'd heard of hazing or what it might be, but you don't really know. And obviously now in the last 8 years, I know more about hazing and what actually goes on. And if parents really knew, it's not just, you have to carry a backpack around, or you have to wear khaki shorts and a polo shirt, or
go shopping at midnight or whatever.
Or just you're the DD for the night or something like that. I mean, just recently, just at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga, there's a video out that you can find online where they literally set young men on fire. They were shooting them with airsoft guns. They were dragging them around in trash cans, but like behind a car.
Towing behind a car.
Towing them behind a car and, circling them around, a parking lot. I would not want my children involved in any of that.
No.
This isn't, people like to call it light hazing. That's not light hazing. And even if light hazing's going on, like little things like people say, you don't know when it's going to turn to something big.
That's right.
Like what happened to Max.
That's right.
So that's the biggest thing. We've also had parents say to us things like, oh, well, my son's going through a little bit of hazing, but nothing like what Max went through. And I'm like, well, if he's telling you about the little bit of hazing,
He's not.
do you really think he's going to tell you about like the hazing Max went through? Because I don't think, a kid's usually wouldn't really want to admit to their parents some of these things that they're doing or allowing to be done to them because they think they have to do this to join a fraternity,
right?
Or any organization. It's not just fraternities. So
do you find it in sororities also?
You do find it in sororities. In sororities, it tends to be more. There is definitely forced drinking that goes on, but it's a lot more of like the mean girl and body shaming, and things like that goes on with the girls. But it's definitely there with them too, and it's very prominent in sports.
Sure.
And it's very prominent in things like even bands, and dance teams. Right after Max had passed away, like that same school year, in the spring, the LSU dance team had gotten in a lot of trouble for hazing, very similarly to this forced drinking like Max had to do. So, it's even the girls and the dance teams and the band, like I said. So it's there. It's there.
So tell us about, obviously, it was a devastating event for you all personally and your family. And you're right, this community is unbelievable about rallying around those around and really just scooping you up and holding you tight and helping you move through really tough times. So
100%.
We're blessed to be in Roswell. But knowing that, like, what you guys went right into action. I mean, I vividly remember a lot of this. What were some of the first things you did? Because I remember you going and talking to legislators right away. Like, I know there was a period of time where you were engaged with trying to understand what had just happened, but you got through that. You got kind of a feel for that. But you decided to take action, and that started even right here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, it was really immediate. Like, honestly, before we had even buried Max, I had found like a journal of his in his closet, and I was, reading through. He had like papers in there and stuff. He was a writer, so it was stuff he had been done for the paper at Blessed Trinity and just a bunch of different things in there. And in there was a paper he had written on blessings when he was 16 years old, and the last paragraph of this paper it's this quote that we use all the time now. It literally has given us the motivation to do everything we can do. And it said, God works in funny ways. He does bad things sometimes because in the end they are good. Something bad can happen to you, but it may happen because it will make you better. And when I read that, I burst out into tears. I went running to my sister and I'm like, look what Max wrote. We have to do something to change this so this doesn't happen to someone else or someone else's family. It was just so unfathomable that this is how your child would pass away. He's just trying to join a group. He's supposed to be going off to college and having a great time. Like the fraternity was supposed to be like icing on the cake, more fun for him, right?
Makes sense.
Not going to kill him.
Yeah.
And it was from that we were like, my sister was like, we're going to do something. We need education. Let's start, we're going to start a foundation. And we did. And in the state of Louisiana, a senator came up to us or a representative came up to us and wanted to change the hazing laws, because the hazing laws at that time in Louisiana were 30 days in jail and $100 fine. And that is what two of the guys got, because that's all they could get with that old hazing law. My son is no longer here, and the most two of these young men got was that $100 fine and 30 days in jail. And, we've lost a huge piece of our hearts and life.
Absolutely.
And so we worked really hard, and by May of that year, we went back and forth to Baton Rouge in Louisiana, and they got a new hazing law, the Max Gruver Act, in the state of Louisiana.
Amazing.
So it makes hazing range from a misdemeanor to a felony, depending on what has gone on. So there's degrees of it, right? So if it is this lighter hazing, but there, you could still be prosecuted with a misdemeanor for it. But if it causes bodily harm or death, or you have a blood alcohol level of over a 0.3, the victim, it could be considered a felony. So then district attorneys have something that they can put their teeth in, that they have the tools to now prosecute. And that was a big thing with our prosecutor, Hiller Moore. I mean, he was like, this law will make a huge difference for us, because they were having a hard time trying to figure out exactly how they were going to charge the main hazer. Because obviously the old hazing law was horrible.
Right.
And we want to get him on a felony. I mean, he killed Max, and they did take him to court, and he was found guilty of negligent homicide. But now with the hazing, because it clouds people's minds trying to figure out the hazing, and something like this happened because of hazing, and this just helps.
It makes everyone accountable.
Right?
And it gives the prosecutors, again, the tool that they can use to prosecute the criminals that perpetrated the act, right? And that's what is lacking in a lot of the states across the country. And unfortunately, when it comes to laws like that, like felony laws against hazing, we have to go state by state to do that. Now, we've worked here in Georgia. John Albers has been
John. John.
He's been a great cheerleader of ours, and helped us change some of the laws here in Georgia.
Sure.
We now have transparency in Georgia, and we had that before the federal act came about, which means that if an organization has done something wrong, it's not going to be swept under the rug, right? It's now required that if they have any code of conduct violations, any organization on a campus, the university has to put that on their website in a prominent place, so that folks have an educated decision on these groups that they're joining. And this is critical. Like in Max's case, we really thought he was making a great decision with the Phi Delta Thetas. He had done his research. He was looking at 5 different fraternities. There was a couple of fraternities on that campus that he knew by reputation were bad actors, right? He's like, I would never join that organization.
Right.
And, we're like, well, okay, but, these Phi Delts, they've got a great reputation. They look awesome on paper.
Right.
Well, what we didn't know was that the Phi Delta Thetas had, for the last 7 years, had code of conduct violations for hazing. And up until just the fall semester before, they were suspended for hazing. So these were,
And you couldn't find that information.
We couldn't find it.
We had no idea it existed.
And we had looked, on Phi Delta's national headquarters website to find something. And we looked on LSU's website just to find out, you want to know the good, you want to know the bad. Like, we're not from Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere. And so it's that truth in advertising, as Steve always says. It's like, you just want to know the good and the bad, so we could have asked Max more questions.
It would have been like, well, look, these guys are hazers,
are you sure
they're just like the other guys with the bad reputation. I'm probably going to look at a different group.
Right.
Because that's not what I'm looking for. So now we have that in Georgia. Now we actually have it across the country, with the
Stop Campus Hazing
Stop
Act.
Campus Hazing Act.
We just got that passed. We lobbied for years with other families
at a federal level.
To get the Stop Campus Hazing Act, across the country. So now every university and college across the country has to report any hazing incidents.
Amazing.
And what's happened, probation, whatever, sanctions that have happened. And it needs to be in a national database. It needs to be on the school's websites. Again, Georgia, we're ahead of the game.
Already there.
With Max's law here from 2021, you can go on Georgia's web. University of Georgia has a great, very easy to read,
Good.
What the disciplinary reports are.
For the.
It's fantastic. Georgia Tech, everybody. There's a few still in our state that aren't up to speed yet, but they're really going to have to be. It's fine. Like, they're being held accountable. Let's get this on your, because
is it also private schools?
Private schools too.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So again, start looking at that when you're sending
Yeah.
your kids off to college. Look at hazinginfo.org is a new website that's out that another mother whose son in Washington was killed from hazing also. She has started this website, and it was for the states, initially the states that had transparency like Georgia, Louisiana, South Carolina, where you could go there to find out the information in one spot. It will now obviously expand right there, so you can see it for all 50 states and get that information really quickly, so you can start asking those questions. And
well, I think what you're doing is so key, and and I bring it even home, right? Here in downtown Roswell, right, and in this little village of 100,000 people, so many of our students at all the high schools go away to college, right? And so if we always want the best for our kids, and we work extremely hard as parents to give them every opportunity, but we, just like you said, don't always have the tools, and we're not educated on where and when we can go, and we kind of go with the flow, right? We kind of go with the other. Hey, that parent said that's a good fraternity, or that's a good sorority, or that's a good club to join, and we're like, oh, okay, but now what you've got is something that's got bite. Right?
Yes.
That really you can go check and see what it's really like, which that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, like the last 7-8 years, and we've been traveling across the country, speaking to universities and organizations and high schools, and we've really expanded this high school program because I find it like it's definitely important to talk to those college kids 100%, because I swear when we're there and we're speaking, they'll come up to us afterwards and it's like, oh my God, Mrs. Gruver, I never thought of it that way. Like I never thought like even this could be the start of hazing, something so small, but I understand now how it could progress on or, very quickly and things like that. And so getting to the high schools has been really important. And we've partnered with actually Phi Delta Theta, their headquarters. We're partnered with them. We've worked really hard on a peer-to-peer high school education program that basically I go in with say Georgia Tech or Georgia we've worked with some of their Phi Delts, like 3 guys will come with me. I tell Max's story, and then the young men of the fraternity will then take over the presentation, and it's them talking to the high school students.
Yep.
And that peer-to-peer aspect is really good. It's been really great. We do a lot with the YMSL group, the Young Men's Service League and stuff like that. And the guys being able to talk to these guys, they're only a few years older. They're all about to go away to college. Some of them are going to be going to, these Georgia schools. Yeah. And then to see these other fraternity guys talk to them, it really has had a big impact.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And then also sometimes if we don't have a chapter there, I just kind of do my version of our college program, but for high schools. And we have this year's been really expansive with especially North Fulton. I mean, we were at Roswell High School, we were at Chattahoochee, we were at Johns Creek, we were all over, like Westminster, like I think I did like 25 presentations. And then we're going across the country. Like we had one, we were in Oregon, we're in Florida, South Carolina.
That's great.
So it's really expanding, and I always hate saying excited, but I am excited about it. Like, I mean, it's just, why I have to do it.
Right.
It's like, you're like, oh, I hate saying I'm excited about this, but because of what's happened to us is
changing other families' opportunity to protect their kids, right?
Providing the tools to help.
Yeah, and that is exciting. Truly is.
And then having these kids even come back, and tell us stories. Like, I was at Mount Pisgah. I speak there every year, and the next year when I was there, the counselor that brings me every year, she's like, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened." Is one of our students had gone to a school down in Florida, was going to play lacrosse, and he started getting hazed really bad, and he put himself in the portal, transferred to another school back here in Georgia, still playing lacrosse, and completely different experience. But he said, after listening, and I always say, I don't care if they call me that lady or that mom if they don't remember my name, but I remember what that lady said, and this is not how this is supposed to be, and I do not have to put up with this. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And like stories like that always make, I'm like, okay, we're doing the right thing because these kids are reacting.
Yes.
And they're reporting and they're calling us. I mean, I'll get calls across the country, like from schools that are like, I think my boyfriend's being hazed, I think my friend's being
wow.
hazed, or I'll leave a school and somebody has contacted me and said, this is at a different school in Michigan, but my boyfriend's being hazed there. Like, and so then I can go and report and tell what I know at least and help get a process going so that it can be looked into.
Yeah.
That's pretty phenomenal. Well, it's amazing what we all endure at times, right? And for you to champion what you've championed, it's only says volumes of the kind of people you are. And so tell us the best way to get a hold of the website, which is?
Yeah, the website is the maxgruverfoundation.com. You can go there. It's got a lot of information about where the things we're doing. You can request for us to come speak for high schools or for colleges or your organizations. It has links to find out other laws that are out there, so you can find that information. To like Hazing Prevention Network, which is a great
that sounds phenomenal
organization that is just there to educate and teach and help parents, talk to their students, because it's a hard conversation to have, but you need to have it. And you can also just reach us there. Our emails are on there. You can reach out if you have any questions, need help with anything, don't even know where to start looking at the stuff. I'm happy to help. Helped many parents find the information that they need.
Yeah.
And
information about some of the fundraisers that we do is also on there. Like we do have the 501k that we do annually at Blessed Trinity.
The 501k.
Well, it's that's okay though. But you know what? It might be an annuity and a payoff. I like it. That was really good.
Yeah, the 401k.
5K.
The 5K.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, we have the 5K at Blessed Trinity every year. Blessed Trinity is awesome and always, helps us get, obviously our weekend. And this year it'll be March 7th of 2026. It's 8:00 in the morning. It's always really fun. We have a great time. It's always a huge turnout. We also do in the fall, like August, that weekend right after all the kids go back to school, but right before football season starts.
There you go.
We have this great at Deep Roots, this wine tasting and auction, and we just last year added in a cornhole tournament.
Oh, there you go.
And it is a blast of a day. And again, we're raising awareness, we're raising funds. We use the funds obviously to keep getting our programming out there with the high school program. Obviously here in Georgia, it's no big deal. But if I travel, I don't charge high schools for me to come to Oregon, because I know high schools don't have the budgets for stuff like that, like to fly me there and keep me up and all that. So that's a big thing with the foundation is I never want any organization to ever say, we can't afford it. I'm like, well, that's fine. We'll come.
Yeah,
so
we got it taken care of.
That's a big thing. And we support a lot, like Hazing Prevention Network, the Timothy J. Piazza Research Center, the Gordy Center, all these Stop Hazing organizations that are doing research and, getting more materials out there for education with students. And we just want to keep help supporting them. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we like their programming and what else we can do for them and help them get their stuff out there. Like that's all we want to do.
But you just got to keep telling the story.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to you two for what you're doing and keep it up.
Well, thank you.
Thank you,
We
Steve.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We always say it's a great day to do business in Roswell. It's a great day to live in Roswell.
It
It's
is.
a great day to
Cheers.
live in Roswell.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.